Alright guys, in today's video we're looking at a problem where on the vehicle that the system sounds have stopped, like when you turn the blinker on, for example, or the door is ajar. So for example, we'll put the keys on here. We can see we've got power on the instrument panel. We put the left blinker on. Right, it's on, you can see it. The right blinker's on, it's on, you can see it, but there's nothing to be heard. Right, you can open the door, door's ajar. Right, so we don't have any sound effects at all. So what is that kind of a problem? Well, an easy way to determine what that problem is to actually turn the radio on. We're going to turn the radio on, and we're going to put it on XM preview. We're going to hit this key here so we can get to control the balance and the fade. We're going to hit the fader. And we're going to find out we've got nothing in the front, only in the back. If we hit the balance, we've got left, we've got right. If we go to the front, what we're going to find is we got nothing on the left. Typically it's this driver's door where these sound effects are piped through from the radio. In this particular vehicle, though, we've got nothing on the right either, which means both front speakers have blown out. So let's go ahead and go through what the process is to replace those. All right, guys, let's take a look at what the service manual says about getting this door off and access to this speaker. This is the 2009 A car, Cobalt G5. If we turn to this section here on the interior trim paneling, if you've got manual adjustable mirrors, this little cover just pops off. We'll show that. The door is held on just by push pins, just pulls off. Before you do that, you need to remove a couple of Phillips screws in the grab handle area and for the door release handle area, and then there's a couple of push pins on the side. Another thing to point out is if you've got manual crank windows, if we take a look at 427, that's where they talk about getting the manual crank windows off. Just show you that real quick. I'll show all this on video, but just so you can see, right? So when you have this, you end up having this little plastic washer, a C-clip made of metal, and then the plastic crank handle itself. You've got to get this C-clip off. It fits into a couple of grooves on the shaft. Pop that off, get the whole thing off so you can pull the panel off. So let's go see it live. All right, guys, like we saw in the service manual, let's go ahead and start disassembling what we need to do to get access to this driver's side front door speaker. I'm going to put the glass up, get it out of the way from when we're down there. First thing, this particular vehicle's got manual outside mirrors. And so like we saw in the service manual, we first need to remove this particular cover piece. It's held in by two metal retaining clips. Right, this guy and this guy hold here and here. Next thing we're going to go after is there's a little door here that we're going to need to pull off, and there's a Phillips screw behind it. And then there's a little door here that we're going to need to lift up, and there's two Phillips screws here. But let me first grab these two pins on the side. So you can see there's a pin here and pin here, and they're just like the pins you see under the hood, except that they are color-coded for the trim. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to just take a pick and get it out a little bit so that we can get our tool in here. I'm kind of doing this blind because the camera's where I would normally want to be. As soon as you got that guy pushed out, come out just like that. All right, so we'll get the other one, and then we'll come back and do these Phillips screws. All right, guys, both push pins out. Now we're going to come over here. We'll take a little small flathead screwdriver, get this little cover out of the way, and then there's your Phillips screw that's holding this on. Now again, this has got manual windows, and it's got manual mirrors. So if you've got power, yours may be a little different. And then the next one we're going to get is a top view. We're going to come up and we're going to knock out these two that are inside this little recessed area. If I can locate what I did with the tool I'll need. There it is. Okay. So to get this one, we're going to come up and use a long, small flathead to push in the tab, and then we'll take a 90-degree pick get it to come loose. And then it has a little lip on the end too that fits in here. So yep, you probably have a lot of debris in here depending on what the owner has done with the vehicle. Then we'll be able to come over here and grab our Phillips screwdriver and we'll remove these two. So let me get these two off and then we'll come back and take care of the door handle. Alright guys, if you got manual windows, then there's a clip that has to be removed off of here. I'll try to get you a view of it. Go ahead and wedge this screwdriver in there to give us some visibility. If we zoom in there, hopefully you can see it. I don't know if you can. It's very difficult to see. Maybe come in from this angle here. You might just catch a glimpse of the little silver clip that's in there. It's like a C-clip. And so what we're going to do to get that off, you can either use a special tool for that, or in my case, we're just going to take a 90-degree pick and we're going to pull that off. So we're going to reposition the camera so you can see it come off, but I'm going to have to get on this side. All right, guys, so I'm just going to come in here and grab this one edge of this C-clip. That's what it looks like. So what you do is you just kind of grab here with the pick and just give it a pull, and it'll pop right off. And if that, put the window up all the way so that we know what position it is. Make sure you remember it goes up. And then you've got this little washer that sits on there. Make sure you put that back on as well. When you go to put this back on, just install the clip first before you go to put it back into place. Easier said than done, right? Right, like that. Get your washer so that you've got the cavity for the clip. And then figure out where it's going to go and snap it on. And that'll get it back onto position. Alright, with all that removed, we should be able to just pull the door off. Lift it up, give it a twist, and there's what we're after. So 7mm socket, and we'll be able to remove the speaker and see what's going on with it. Alright guys, 7mm socket. This screws on the long side. And when you go to put it back in, it's going to have a torque of 18 inch-pounds. There's a big spring behind it. All right, and there we are. See if we can wiggle the connector loose. It's just this little push tab. It's just something awkward to hold on to. Want to make sure there's no corrosion on these contacts in the front or the back. You know, if we kind of zoom in here, getting some glare from the sun too, it looks like. We're just trying to make sure that we don't have any corrosion. It should be nice and silver. As long as it's nice and silver, we should be able to reuse it. And then we're going to take a trim tool and we're going to pop this guy out, unless we can just work it out with our hand. Now we're going to need a trim tool for that, and then we'll get the new one installed and see if that fixes our problem. Alright, let's get this wire harness off of here. We'll do it like this so we don't break the little plastic wings. Okay, there's our old one. And here's our new one. It's going to be a GM 2594 3916 is what we're going to replace it with. We're just going to want to make sure when we take it out of the box that it's not damaged and that it looks physically the same as our old one, but we're not going to install it just yet. We're first going to give a shot of deoxit to this connector. Even though you don't see any corrosion, you never know if there might be some that you can't see. I like using this product on anything electronics connectors wise to take care of that potential risk. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but we've already got the ding of the door being open. Let me go ahead and see if we can get our blinker sound going. Actually, we'll test with the radio first.
For any mood, occasion, or activity, extra channels let you discover new music and enjoy even more variety from every decade and music style you love. Plus, you can watch some of your favorite SiriusXM shows with Sirius.
We got left, and we already did the right as well, so we've got all of our sounds back. Let's see if this does anything for our original problem with the blinker. And there's our blinker sound. Hopefully you guys can hear that. So that fixed our problem, guys. So these newer vehicles, that's just how it is, right? The computer's going to pump the sound through the radio system, and it's going to come out this driver's side speaker, whether it be for the blinker, whether it be for the door ajar, or any of the other sounds that you might have on the system. And like I said, this 7mm, he's going to go back in at 18 inch-pounds after we tighten him up. And to get this cover back on, you're just going to reverse all of the things that we did to get here. I hope this helps you out. If you got questions about this procedure or you got some comments about how it was done, go ahead and leave them below. If you find that this video helped you get your vehicle back and going, saved you some money, or you just found it entertaining, pay it forward and hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching.